Improving people's appearance by achieving their desired smile was her dream. She combined her passion with a creative business mind to build her own empire. Our guest for today's episode is a cosmetic dentist. Stay tuned to uncover the secrets behind her success.
I think I have to thank the leadership in Dubai, Sheikh Mohammed and Sheikh Zayed, with their vision and their entrepreneurship, has allowed people like myself to come in and hopefully contribute and continue that amazing journey. Dubai is a place that's full of inspiration to me. I landed here coming from England and I thought, this place is for me. It's wonderful, it's magical. Everything you can imagine or want to achieve, you can do in Dubai. Sometimes I do hear people talking about the competition and there's too many dentists. Really, if anything, I think competition is healthy. If I have a dentist clinic that sets up next door to me and my patients are going there, then I've got to question myself. Why is it that they're doing something better than what I'm doing so that patients are going there? And it's not always on price. Patients actually value good quality treatment and honesty and trustworthiness. So it's not really about price, it's about setting yourself apart by making sure that you're doing ethical quality dentistry. I love working with young dentists. I think it's really exciting time for dentistry. Actually, dentistry was an exciting time when I graduated. There's so many innovations and new things, and I'm excited for new dentists starting out today. I've always hopefully been a mentor to young dentists. I enjoy chatting with them and seeing them, and I think young dentists now have moved so much far forward than in my generation. And we say you stand on the shoulders of giants so that you can look forward, and I hope that the new generation of dentists take our profession further and better, and I'm here to help along with the journey as much as I can.
Hello everyone, and welcome to our show Bells of Union, where we bring you the best of the entrepreneurship world and meeting incredible pioneers who have turned their dreams, idea into successful businesses. Our guest for today's episode is a cosmetic dentist and accomplished businesswoman, Dr.Rena. How are you, doctor? Today, doctor?
I'm very well, thank you very much. Thank you for having me with you today.
Thank you so much. We are excited to have you today.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, Dr.Rena, first, let's talk about your life at early stages, how it shaped your personality, as well as your educational background and professional experiences.
Yes. So I'm half Iraqi, half English. I was born in Baghdad. My father's Iraqi, my mother's English, and I lived there till I was about 6 years old. And growing up in an Arabic country obviously really shaped my childhood, and then going to the UK, which is a very different culture, different experience, also formed a different kind of background and shaping of who I am today.
Sure. This is how your life at early stages as a childhood.
Yes.
What about your educational background and professional experience? What roles exactly have you held?
Yeah, so basically I went to University of Leeds and there I studied dentistry. I wanted to do dentistry because essentially I just wanted to help people. I was very fortunate that I did work experience with an amazing dentist in Loughborough where I grew up and went to school.
Yes.
And he was such a kind man. He was really kind and caring, and you know, as a patient, when you go to the dentist, you just lie back and the dentist is looking in your mouth and you're not really sure what's happening.
Yes.
But when I went on the other side of it and I actually saw all the hard work and effort and a lot of artistry as well as science that goes into dentistry, and what really hit home was the psychological impact of dentistry on people were. And I remember walking one lunchtime with the dentist and he said to me, you know, Rena, we can change people's lives. You know, imagine if you can't smile or you can't eat or you can't chew. We can do that for people, and when you have the ability to make somebody smile, then their prospects in life improve, like getting a job, getting married. You know, as dentists, we're just enabling that, and we're just giving that confidence to that person. They themselves are doing it, but it's amazing privilege to position to be in, that you can actually help that somebody achieve that.
Amazing.
And that's why when I did that work experience, it just, you know, gave me such a fire for dentistry that alhamdulillah has been burning bright ever since. and that's why I love what I do every single day.
So Dr. Rena, you have been an employee, a dentist for several years, and at one stage you have decided to be an owner, a businesswoman. So I know that this shift is challenging. Can you talk more about the challenges you have faced once you become an owner of your own clinic?
Yeah, I mean, actually setting up my own dental clinic is something that I've wanted for actually the last 10 years. And when I say wanted it, I mean, it's not just been you know, an idea or a dream. I've been actually working towards it, trying, developing, and thankfully it all finally came together this year. The reason why I wanted to have my own dental clinic is because I love business, I love entrepreneurship, and I wanted to be able to create something extraordinary in dentistry. Here at Serenity, we say we do dentistry differently, and our three main pillars are painless, trustworthy, and innovative. And I wanted to create something that was painless, because actually a lot of dentistry, everybody hates going because it's painful, correct?
Exactly.
So actually there are many things we can do, such as the pain-free injection and using rubber dam, distraction tools such as the TV or massage, that can really help relax patients and make them feel so much more comfortable and make the procedure so much more pleasant if we just put the time and the dedication, the effort into it. So I wanted to create a brand of serenity, and the name Serenity because it means calmness, relaxation, peacefulness, and train other like-minded dentists and bring them together to work in this way. And the trustworthy aspect is, of course, ethics is at the heart of what we do. I always say that, you know, we have very experienced dentists, we have very trustworthy dentists, and we all work together to give patients a very holistic treatment. And then the innovative, because I absolutely love technology. Technology, and being somewhere like Dubai is amazing because it's really at the forefront of, you know, science and technology and AI, and that's really the future.
Exactly.
And we can introduce a lot of that into dentistry. So some of the things I mentioned, the pain-free injection, which is actually not a new thing to do in dentistry. It's just that not a lot of dentists are doing it. But the other thing is using AI in our diagnostic X-ray tools. So normally when you have an X-ray done, you rely on the dentist looking at the X-ray and their experience of knowing what to look for. But here in Serenity, we actually use AI to diagnose the X-ray and produce a full report for the patient. So it's not the dentist saying, look, I'm looking at this X-ray and I can see this, and another dentist looking at the X-ray and saying, I can see this. It's actually fundamentally a computer-assisted AI-generated report, which is accurate.
Exactly. And I know, of course, going through these challenges, you need at some time or some point to surround yourself with supporters who support and encourage you to continue in this successful journey. So who are your supporters?
Do you know, I'm so lucky and so blessed to have such amazing people in my life who have championed me and supported me and believed in me throughout the whole journey, at times when I didn't believe it myself. When I was much younger, I joined the British Academy of Cosmetic Dentistry, which is a very prestigious organisation. I was so lucky. I had a mentor called Chris Orr who was there, and James Russell, and Chris Orr actually put me forward to be nominated for the board of directors, and I was the youngest dentist at the time to be put forward, and I actually got elected onto the board. So I'm still the youngest dentist ever to have been elected.
Wow.
And at the time I was after Elaine Halley, who was an amazing person as well, who I was very fortunate to get to work with. I was the second female dentist to be elected onto the board. So I was very, very passionate about that in the UK. And I actually set up the Young Membership Committee there. So I decided to go around lecturing to all the universities in the UK and appoint student reps and help to spread the message of cosmetic dentistry. Now, although the British Academy of Cosmetic Dentistry is called cosmetic, but in its nature, it's actually all about high quality, good ethical dentistry. So that really gave me the groundwork to be where I am today. So I was very, very fortunate to be involved with them, and I spent many years with them on serving on the board. And then when I came to Dubai, I had dentists like Dr. Layla Hariri, who works in Dubai. She's a phenomenal dentist. She's also an amazing entrepreneur. She's set up her own clinic, and we very much think alike. And she's really been like a big sister to me here, you know, helping me and supporting me, and I really can't thank her enough. And I'm so fortunate to learn from people like Maurizio Martini, an amazing speaker, and Dr. Abdul Hakim. So, you know, having dentists who are, again, also at the forefront and very, very experienced clinicians being with you, guiding you, leading you, it's an amazing experience, really. I'm very, very blessed.
Right, totally right. So, Dr. Rena, you are young, smart, creative, who being able to set up her business in UAE, and especially when we talk about UAE, where the intense competition, as you said, a lot of opportunities. So if I would ask you, what exactly services of cosmetic procedures that you are offering here in the clinic that can unique yourself from other clinics in the same field? So actually, what are these services?
You know, sometimes I do hear people talking about the competition and there's too many dentists. Really, if anything, I think competition is healthy. You know, if I have a dentist clinic that sets up next door to me and my patients are going there, then I've got to question myself, why is it that they're doing something better than what I'm doing so that patients are going there? And you know, it's not always on price. Patients actually value good quality treatment and honesty and trustworthiness. So it's not really about price, it's about setting yourself apart by making sure that you're doing ethical quality dentistry. So actually, if anything, I think if I had a competition nearby, it's great, because, you know, at the end of the day, we're all dentists and we're all professionals, and we want to help and support each other. So I want to have competition to help me get better. But I would say always, ever since I was younger, in business and in myself, my competition has always been myself. You know, if I'm doing the same sort of dentistry I was doing 20 years ago, then I'm not doing something correct, because we should move on. We should, you know, develop, you know, embrace new techniques and technologies. And so I think as long as you're always moving forward and improving and keeping up to date, then you should never have to worry about these things.
Also, doctor, talking about technology and the latest advancement technology, how do you keep yourself updated with these advanced technologies, especially in the cosmetic field, and what technologies are you relying on in your cosmetic procedures?
Well, I mean, one of the things that all dentists have to do is make sure that they're always going to conferences, courses, lectures, so we're learning from one another. At the conferences and courses, you're not only listening to speakers telling you about, you know, things that they found that is working really well, but you also get to meet all the suppliers and distributors and the people who are developing the latest things. I'll give you an example. Last weekend I was at the CAP conference, and they have augmented reality. So essentially you're wearing glasses where you can see in augmented reality in AI the model of the patient's tooth, and you can zoom in, zoom out, you can pick up a veneer and place it on the tooth, or implants, or whatever it is that you want, and you can actually visually see and practice what you're going to do before you even do it on the patient itself. So, you know, going to conferences and courses gets me really fired up. I always come back in clinic on Monday morning with buzzing with ideas of all the things we can implement and all the things we can do. And I think that's also key, is implementation, because sometimes you can go to these courses or conferences or see these things and you get excited, but then when you come back Monday morning in the clinic, you're just doing the same kind of dentistry you were doing before. Routine work. Yes. So I think as long as you're always pushing yourself and trying to make sure you excel and making sure you're embracing, as I say, those new technologies, it's really, really important. New knowledge, new technologies, and also don't forget, if you're working with a team of very experienced dentists, they themselves are going to learn different things and they can bring all that to the table. So with my team, I'm very fortunate. I've already started building a unique set of dentists that I've brought together, all with our own specialities, because I think people forget that something like dentistry, like in medicine, you know, you've got your heart surgeon and you've got your brain surgeon, and within dentistry itself we have specialities. So you've got your dentist who's an orthodontist who does braces, you've got your cosmetic dentist, you've got your root canal specialist. So here at Serenity we have all those specialists together. So when we have a patient, we generally sit together as specialists and we each individually tell one another what we would do and bring all that treatment plan in a holistic way for the patient.
Yes, exactly. Talking also about technology, we know that technology and especially artificial intelligence have helped doctors and nurses, medical staff a lot. But can you imagine that maybe these technologies or artificial intelligence can be a replacement of doctors in the future?
There's a very prominent dentist out there who are even developing robotics, in dentistry. Yeah, exactly. So I know already they're placing dental implants with robotics, and you know, potentially in the future we're looking at doing fillings also. To be honest, for somebody like me, I always embrace technology. I think if you shy away from it, you're just going to get left behind. And I think you shouldn't have a fear of being replaced, because at the end of the day, nothing can replace the human mind. And whilst robotics and AI is a tool, even if it's removing some of the manual work, you're always going to need that brain power and to enable you to actually input the data or tell that computer what it is you want to do or how to do it. And I think always you'll never be able to have that psychological connection impact with your patients. So sometimes part of our job description is a counselor or psychiatrist, because you know, dentistry is unique, unlike medicine, where generally when you want to see a doctor, you go once for an ailment or an illness and then you don't go again unless you need to. But with a dentist, generally you go every 6 months or more often if you're having a course of treatment. So you actually develop very strong bonds and links with your patients. A lot of my patients have become my friends, you know, through the process, and you know, you see them over many years. So you see them through massive life changes of getting married or having children or suffering loss and grievances, and you share their joys and you share their losses with them together. So no matter what developments in robotics or AI, nothing will ever compensate for that bond and that connection that you have with your patients.
Behind the camera, Dr. Rena, we were talking about the word success, and we were debating, is it hard work or a smart work? So what do you think? What do you think about the word success? How do you define it today?
Actually, funnily enough, I was saying I've got a picture installed in my clinic of success. It's that famous iceberg where you see success, but you don't see all the underlying things that went through it. I think smart work and hard work are two very separate things. But I think you should always have smart work integrated into it. But I don't want anyone to think that smart work is a shortcut, because sometimes at the end of the day, nothing substitutes for just putting in the hours, putting in the time. And you know, the hard work in summary sometimes is a lot of sacrifice, a lot of rejections, a lot of failures, learning to pick yourself back up when things have not worked out. And seeing failure or rejection, for me, I never see it as rejection. It's like, I have a problem, I couldn't solve it this way, okay, what other way can I solve it? What other way can I get around this? Failure, again, I learned more from my failures, to be honest, than I have from my successes. And I think if you embrace that as part of your life, my life generally, I think of it in that way. I think you will succeed and you will become better at it. And even with my staff, I always tell them, look, you know, you've got the very famous circle of comfort. And if you're always pushing yourself to be in an uncomfortable position where, you know, you don't quite know how to do things and you're learning and it's very difficult and nobody likes that change. But if you're always putting yourself in that discomfort area, then your zone of comfort gets wider and wider and wider. And then eventually you become very competent. You've got the wider circle, which is basically chaos, which is you've taken on too much. It's, you know, you're way under experienced. So you don't want to be in the outer circle. Yes. You want to be in that happy medium where you're slowly growing your circle of comfort. And that's where you step into experience, competence, viewing life in a more holistic, better way, you know, facing failures because you failed before and you know you can get over it and you know you can overcome it, or you've learned something valuable from it.
So getting out of your comfort zone, but slowly to let yourself having the time to grow.
Yeah,
this is what we want to convey to young people watching us right now. You are a role model who have
also, sorry, to add to that, with the hard work as well, I think you have to put in the hard work initially, the late nights, the sacrifice, the discipline, in order to then work smart. So ways of working smart, for example, within my clinic, is I've developed lots of systems and protocols and fail-safes that my staff follow. And that ensures that, you know, nothing gets missed, nothing gets dropped. The patient journey and their experience is systematic and consistent. So that for me is working smarter, or using various softwares that I've integrated into the clinic that have, you know, very comprehensive treatment planning software for the patient. That is also working smart, rather than doing things by pen and paper and things getting lost or misled. So I started working hard and then once I developed it, I started working smarter.
So maybe this is a message we can convey to our young people watching right now, because young people, you know, most of them are excited to get out of comfort zone without thinking about the consequences. So what other motivational messages you would like to convey from your inspiring story today?
Thank you. I mean, I love working with young dentists. I think it's really exciting time for dentistry. Actually, dentistry was an exciting time when I graduated. There's so many innovations and new things, and I'm excited for new dentists starting out today. I've always hopefully been a mentor to young dentists. I enjoy chatting with them and seeing them, and I think young dentists now have moved so much far forward than in my generation. And you know, we say you stand on the shoulders of giants so that you can look forward, and I hope that the new generation of dentists take our profession further and better, and I'm here to help along with the journey as much as I can.
Exactly. Thank you. Also, Dr. Rena, let's take this opportunity talking about UAE and how it contributed to your successful story. What message you would like to convey today to UAE and its leaders?
I think I have to thank the leadership in Dubai. You know, Sheikh Mohammed and Sheikh Zayed, with their vision and their entrepreneurship, has allowed people like myself to come in and hopefully contribute and continue that amazing journey. Dubai is a place that's full of inspiration to me. I landed here coming from England and I thought, this place is for me. It's wonderful, it's magical. You know, everything you can imagine or want to achieve, you can do in Dubai. And I think it's the leadership and the way that they are so open-minded and innovative is just phenomenal. And they have just built a country of like-minded people to come, and this beautiful melting pot of cultures and people that all want to develop and help to the continuing success of the country.
Dr. Rena, it was a pleasure talking to you today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Dear audience, this is the end of our episode. Stay tuned watching us next week. Goodbye.